What if I told you there are machines so massive they carry spaceships, dig entire cities, and weigh more than 20 Boeing 747s combined? These are the biggest land vehicles on Earth. They're massive enough to move mountains, weigh as much as luxury cruise ships, and some are so gigantic they even appeared as Decepticons in a Transformers movie. Let's dive into the 8 largest vehicles on our list. 1. Bagger 293, the world's largest land vehicle. Meet the Bagger 293, a machine so colossal it looks like a skyscraper on tank treads. Standing 96 meters tall and stretching 225 meters long, this German-built bucket wheel excavator holds the Guinness World Record as the largest land vehicle ever constructed. Weighing in at a jaw-dropping 14,200 tons, it's used by RWE AG to mine lignite in western Germany. But this isn't just big for the sake of it. This beast can move 240,000 cubic meters of earth per day. That's enough to fill over 96 Olympic swimming pools every 24 hours. And despite its size, it only needs a crew of 5 to operate. It moves on 12 massive caterpillar tracks that distribute its weight like a steel centipede crawling across the earth. The Bagger 293 was designed to solve a massive problem. How do you efficiently remove huge layers of soil and rock in open-pit mining operations? Our next giant crawls its way into space history, 1 mile per hour at a time. 2. NASA Crawler Transporter. At first glance, NASA's Crawler Transporter looks like a lumbering warehouse on tank treads. But don't be fooled. This slow-moving platform is one of the most vital vehicles in space exploration. Built in the 1960s to carry Saturn V rockets, it still operates today, now transporting NASA's Artemis rockets to the launch pad. It stretches 40 meters in length and weighs over 2,700 tons. How fast does it go? Just 1 mile per hour when fully loaded. But that's intentional. It needs to carry rocket payloads worth billions of dollars over a 3.5-mile journey to Launch Complex 39. Without even the slightest vibration. Its top speed empty, a blistering 2 miles per hour. And as for fuel efficiency, brace yourself. It burns 150 gallons per mile, which equals just 42 feet per gallon. Despite its dinosaur-like pace, the crawler is a technological marvel. It uses a leveling system to keep rockets perfectly upright, even on inclines. And it runs on 2,700 horsepower diesel engines that drive massive generators. But now we shift gears from crawling to hauling. Enter the world's most powerful mining truck. 3. BelAZ 75710, the largest mining truck. Now imagine a truck so massive, a full-sized bus could fit in its bed with room to spare. That's the BelAZ 75710. The largest and heaviest dump truck in the world. Built in Belarus and operating in massive mining sites across Siberia, South America, and beyond, this ultra-class haul truck is a beast of burden in the truest sense. It can carry 450 metric tons of payload in a single trip. That's the equivalent of 38 fully loaded school buses. Measuring 20.6 meters long and weighing around 360 tons. Even when empty, the BelAZ is powered by 2 65-liter diesel engines that generate a combined 4,600 horsepower. And instead of a traditional drivetrain, it uses electric traction motors, similar to a locomotive, giving it smooth and controlled movement despite its bulk. With 8 giant wheels and a reinforced chassis, it's built to endure the roughest conditions on Earth. Let's meet the world's biggest military land machine. 4. Le Tourneau L2350, the world's largest wheel loader. If there were a forklift for giants, it would be the Le Tourneau L2350. Holding the Guinness World Record for the world's largest wheel loader, this behemoth was designed to handle the heaviest lifting in mining operations. Standing 6.7 meters tall and 11.5 meters long, The L2350 can lift an astonishing 72 tons in a single scoop. That's like picking up a loaded 18-wheeler with a giant metal spoon. Its bucket capacity, a staggering 40.5 cubic meters, powered by a 16-cylinder, 2,300 horsepower diesel engine. The loader was designed by Le Tourneau Inc. and is now manufactured by Komatsu. It's used to load massive dump trucks like the Belaz 75710, making the whole mining operation more efficient. Despite its bulk, the L2350 features precision steering, custom hydraulics, and onboard electronics that monitor weight, tire pressure, and load balance in real time. Our next machine was born for war, designed to carry troops and tanks with near impenetrable armor. 5. Schwerer Gustav railway gun, the heaviest land weapon ever used. Step aside tanks. This one's a literal piece of railway artillery history. Meet the Schwerer Gustav, the heaviest and largest caliber artillery weapon ever used in combat. Built by Krupp in Nazi Germany during World War II, this 1,350-ton railway gun was 47 meters long and fired shells weighing 7 tons each, capable of piercing 7 meters of reinforced concrete. It required a 500-man crew and a special dual-track railway just to be moved and operated. Despite its power, it was so slow and vulnerable to air attack that it was only used a few times in battle. This next giant is on a mission to move mountains, literally. 6. Big Muskie, America's largest dragline excavator. Back in Ohio, USA, Big Muskie once ruled the coal fields like a mechanical T-Rex. At 148 meters long and 67 meters tall, this dragline excavator was the largest single-bucket digging machine ever made in the Western Hemisphere. Weighing 13,500 tons, just shy of Bagger 293, Big Muskie could lift 295 tons of earth in a single scoop. Built in 1969 by Bucyrus Erie for the Central Ohio Coal Company, this electric-powered giant required 13,800 volts to operate and had a bucket the size of a 2-car garage. It worked for nearly 30 years before being retired in 1991 due to rising operational costs and environmental regulations. Though it was scrapped in 1999, its massive bucket still sits on display as a roadside memorial to a bygone era of industrial power. The next machine takes earth moving to a whole new level of domination. Komatsu D575A3 Superdozer, the largest bulldozer in the world. If Earth had to pick a champion bulldozer, the Komatsu D575A3 Superdozer would crush the competition. Literally, built in Japan by Komatsu and introduced in the late 80s, this beast holds the title of the largest production bulldozer ever made. Weighing 152 tons and stretching 11.7 meters long, it was created to push more earth than any other bulldozer in history. Its blade alone is 7.4 meters wide and can move up to 90 cubic yards of material in a single pass. That's roughly 135 tons of dirt, powered by a 1,150 horsepower diesel engine. 8. MAZ 7907 Soviet nuclear missile launcher on wheels. Now here's a vehicle that's straight out of a Cold War fever dream. The MAZ 7907 was a Soviet experimental transporter erector launcher, TEL, designed in the 1980s to carry massive intercontinental ballistic missiles, ACBMS. But this wasn't just any missile truck. This monster was nearly 29 meters long, 4 meters wide, and weighed over 200 tons fully loaded. Its most jaw-dropping feature? It had 24 wheels, each powered by electric traction motors. That's right, it used a gas turbine engine to generate electricity, which was then used to drive individual wheel motors. Only one prototype was ever built, and today it sits in a military yard in Russia, largely forgotten, but still a marvel of extreme engineering. And there you have it, from earth movers to missile carriers. These aren't just vehicles. They're proof of what happens when size, power, and purpose collide.